we'll just.
It's the Road to World Cup 26 podcast, your deep dive into everything FIFA World Cup every single week. Part of the Global Sports Podcast Network.
It's the Road to World Cup 26 for me, Nick Britten, and as always, Ken Davies. 48 hours of great football to catch up on since we last spoke to you. 4 very good games. My England flag is draped behind me, but only just.
Oh, blimey, that was a close run thing, wasn't it?
Nearly fell on the floor. We're going to look at the hosts who are romping away with the World Cup so far. And we're going to talk about something particularly which has caught my eye, Ken. Oh. Which I can't make head.
Be careful at your age; things don't catch your eye. You've got to be.
Yeah, I could drop it, couldn't I? I could drop it on the floor, and then I'd have to wash it and put it back in, and it will be. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going with that. Don't know where I'm going with that. I've got football mania. I've got sleep deprivation.
It's 8 o'clock at night as well. Let's be honest. Half 8. It's half 8 at night.
It's half 8. I've been up all night watching football. Then I had to get up at 5 a.m. to get a train to London, where I was working all day. Then I had to suffer the usual horrendous train travel in the UK, in England particularly. Horrendously overpacked, overheated, a horrible train back from London up to Derby. Quick shower, and here we are.
Well, welcome to the Road to the Railway Station podcast.
Here we are. So let's start with the hosts, Mexico and the USA, both with excellent 2-0 victory. One was fairly mundane. The USA over Bosnia. Bosnia didn't really turn up. Very poor.
Even when they went down to 10 men, which we'll talk about. They didn't really push, did they? Bosnia?
Exactly. No, they weren't really in it. USA continue to impress me, though. I've got to say, they continue to impress me. And they have, I think, started to ride a big wave in the US. I'll be keen. You're putting a face at me there. So
I'm only because I know what we're going to talk about. And I think they're going to be a bit hamstrung in the next game.
Yeah,
but we can talk about that.
Yeah, indeed. No, you're right.
Mexico, I have to say, by the way, I watched the Mexico-Ecuador game. We fancied Ecuador. They were totally outclassed by Mexico.
Well, we did fancy Ecuador. No, we didn't fancy Ecuador for this match. You did. No. I said Mexico would win, and I said Mexico would win quite comfortably. And if you look at my predictions, you'll find that because I think Mexico are pretty unbeatable. I think they are actually unbeatable.
We both had Mexico to win, to be honest, and but we fancied Ecuador at the start of the competition.
Yeah,
but Mexico are just on a absolutely riding a wave themselves.
It's the worst draw in the world. Do you want to know what the worst draw in the entire World Cup is?
What's the worst draw in the entire World Cup, Nick?
Having to go play Mexico at the Azteca, and having to play.
Well, at least England don't have to do that. Oh dear,
7,500 feet up in the air.
Yeah,
20% oxygen in the air.
Yeah, that's like playing on a satellite, isn't it?
It's outrageous. And unsurprisingly, Mexico have played 4-1-4, haven't conceded a goal yet, because the minute the other team runs out to do the handshake, they all fall over knackered.
Like they've been smoking cigarettes for the last week.
No, but on saying that, Mexico are playing extremely well. I mean, they went to Ecuador like a pack of wolves. They had 4 chances in the first 10 minutes. It could be 4-0 after 10 minutes. They absolutely tore them to pieces.
Yeah, and great.
And what about the goals, by the way?
Oh, magnificent! Second goal. Well, the first goal, a near post.
I think both goals.
I mean, that was a great goal. Imagine, I couldn't imagine Jordan Pickford getting too close to that. Quite honestly, little T-Rex arms Pickford, as we'll come to.
We'll talk about. Julian Quinones, absolute stunner, blockbuster after a great move.
What I liked about that goal is that he faked to curl it in the right hand side, and that's what 90% of people would do, and he smashed it in the near post and really connects with it. Then he breaks the net.
Yeah, brilliant finish. And then it was all a bit all Mexico, but not really much going on. But no surprise when Raul Jimenez scored to make it 2-0.
That was a nice goal
No surprise whatsoever. And Ecuador going home at the end with 10 men because Hincapié got sent off. The second player, Ken, to be sent off for covering his mouth and saying, "This is
and talking
rubbish."
to an opponent, isn't he? He probably
Yeah,
said, "You played really well today," and he like sent him off.
no, yeah. I think I'm covering my mouth now. I think this ref is really good.
Yeah,
And then,
probably.
actually,
I think you might win the World Cup. Get off.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, funny enough, we're seeing loads of people on camera covering their mouths whilst they're speaking loads of players, but it's quite obvious they're just having a laugh, or it's not contentious. The whole rule was brought in to obviously stop people saying racist and other abusive things.
And that's fair enough.
And I think it's a good rule.
When you're addressing the opposition, I think that's a good thing to do. It's fair enough if you're talking to your mate.
There are some quite good rules, actually, by the way. It's off at a slight tangent, but there are some the rules that have been brought in for this World Cup are quite good.
Yeah, they've worked out.
I'm quite impressed with them. That's a good rule. Having 5 seconds to take a throw in is a good rule.
Fantastic.
I mean, that's really good. It probably, I don't think it beats my suggestions for people time wasting at throw-ins, which is just to put boards around the touchline and just have 5-a-side and just keep the ball in play all the time. That's what I was doing.
Radical. I'm not so sure about the new rule about sending people off for doing nothing. I'm not massive fan of that one, but we'll talk about that later.
Well, we can talk about it now if you want, because Mexico comfortably through. Well, let's finish off on Mexico, shall we? Mexico comfortably through. You like them. You're a hero, Mexico. Don't forget.
I am, of course. Yeah.
If you missed the episode a few days ago, one of our dear readers emailed in.
I've got my own day in Mexico now.
So Susie,
January the 8th is Ken Davies Day in Mexico.
Yeah, Susie Moreno messaged in and said that Ken's loving of Mexico has made him a national hero. I mean, I don't believe it, to be honest, but apparently Ken's a national hero in Mexico. They carry statues around him on the show.
Open invitation.
Yeah. Mexico versus England next in a game that, well, I want to cast my eye back, and we're going to come to England in a minute. Should we do England, then we'll do this prediction? Or
let's do England.
Okay,
come on.
Let's talk about the USA then.
Huh?
Let's talk about the USA.
Oh, okay.
Or do you want to do it now?
Do England, yeah. Do England while we're talking about Mexico, so we can join the two things together, like we actually designed this thing.
You wouldn't believe the amount of prep which goes into this podcast.
No, I wouldn't.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Quite frankly.
Sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but I'm literally just in from being up for about 20 hours.
Here we go.
You've just been lounging up. And you could have done all of this prep, but as always, mate, you leave it up to me. Yeah, so going back to the start of the podcast. In fact, going back as long as we can go back, when the draw was made, we looked at who we thought was going to get where, and I said England will meet Mexico in the round of 16, and I'm right, obviously.
Obviously.
And I also said at the time I expect Mexico to beat England in the round of 16 because Mexico are so good at home, and the thing that will sway their favour will be altitude and a mad crowd and the heat, because England haven't played in heat yet. They played in air-conditioned stadiums all the time. They're not used to any of these things.
So I take from all that you haven't changed your opinion then?
Well, that was before. That was before the competition, when I thought England were going to be a lot better than they have been. So I'm doubling down on that. I don't think England have got much of a chance at all.
So you'd make Mexico the favourites
in that game?
Yeah.
100%. I can't see why England can, unless something weird happens, like Mexico get 9 red cards in the first 3 minutes, or England, even weirder than that, England actually turn up and play well. Then if England turn up and play to their capability, they've got a chance. But England have not shown in any way, shape or form that they are able to play to their capability in favourable conditions so far. In conditions where it's been nice and air conditioned and cool. Yeah, so what are we going to do at 7,500 feet in the boiling hot sunshine? Know.
But let's deal with the Dr. Congo game. What were your 3 takeaways from the Dr. Congo game?
Okay, well, funnily enough, I've written a piece about this where I've got 5 takeaways, but 5 questions to ask. But if you want to know my main 3,
please.
It is obviously what on earth is going on with the defence and at right back. England and Thomas Tuchel have left themselves with a massive problem because of his squad selection at right back, because the main right back, Reece James, is injured. The other right back, Livramento, went home before a ball's kicked, and Tuchel injured. Tuchel thought, okay, that's fine. I've got one right back who's gone home, another right back who's very injury prone.
Spence came with a broken jaw, FYI.
Spence came broken, but he came as a left back.
Yeah.
Rather than bringing another right back, he brought in a centre half in Trevor Chalobah, and now we don't have any right backs. So
Yeah.
we've got Livramento gone home, not replaced in that position. We've got James injured. We've got Quansha injured, who played there, and now Spence, who played there last night and is rubbish. So what happened was in the second half, he went off after a terrible game, and Declan Rice
Who
played at
played
right back,
well.
and
So
he's been our best.
guess who is our new right back?
I know. Well, that's it. He was our best right back this so far, and as soon as he moved to that position, and as soon as Tuchel brought Eze on and sort of played him on the right hand side, and you've got Saka on, and you've got the Arsenal matchup of
Correct.
Rice, Saka, and Eze. Whoa!
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the magic starts happening.
Yeah.
So my question, I guess, one of the points is what are we going to do with right back? It's either Spence or Rice, essentially, isn't it? That's it. Or you could play Ezra Konzi in there and put Ezra Konza in there rather, and put Stones in at centre half.
Well, he'll do the latter. He'll do the latter.
I wouldn't be doing that.
No,
at all.
He will though.
But Mexico's attack is going to be rampant.
Oh yeah,
they're going to fly out of traps.
That is what'll happen, because he'll want Declan Rice in the middle of the park. And I know what he should do. He should put Declan Rice at right back.
I think he should play Declan Rice at right back.
But he won't.
Not because we won't miss him in the middle of the park. We will.
We will.
Because but he hasn't been playing amazingly. He hasn't been playing that well in that midfield, and that was one of the other points I wanted to raise. The midfield, which looked like it should be really good, isn't.
No.
So that midfield three of Bellingham and who's playing slightly more advanced role, and
Rice,
Anderson, and Rice doesn't have chemistry. Do you know what I mean? They're all really, really good players. They are the best three players to have in that position, but they don't have chemistry, and it's not working.
It's not working. Another
it's not
point
working going forward, and it's not working defensively. They're not shielding the defence.
Another point I would like to raise is, what is the point of Jordan Henderson? What is the point of Jordan Henderson? He hasn't played. The only way he's going to play is come on as a late substitute.
He did come on as a late sub in one of the games.
Yeah, he's going to. All right, he's going to be okay. I missed that.
Well,
the
answer
was so late. But what is the point of Jordan Henderson?
That's the point of him. That's the point of him.
Yeah, but I don't think that's good. I don't think that's enough value for his place. We could have done. I mean, we could have dispensed with Jordan Henderson, a better option in terms of our defence.
I'm going to ask you a better question than that. I'm going to say, what on earth is the point of Kobe Mainoo?
Well,
who's a real talent,
yeah,
and he hasn't kicked a ball yet.
No,
and he would be ideal for this England team coming up against.
No, he's not going to play Mainoo. He's not going to play Mainoo.
No, I know he's not. But then what? Again, what's the point of him?
Well, okay, let's start at first principles. What formation would you play against Mexico?
I would probably go to a more conventional 4-3-3 than opposed to a kind of 4-2-1-3-1, whatever they are playing. To be honest, I don't even know what they're doing. I can't work. Okay, fine.
4-2-3-1, surely a 4-2-3-1. You've got to play a 4-2-3-1 against Mexico. You've got to. You've got to have two defensive midfielders and four bombing on. You've got to.
But that's what we've been playing so far, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, but we haven't been playing teams who are going to come on to us like Mexico are going to come on to us.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
But Mexico are going to...
But yes, I agree with that. But my concern is, you are right, by the way. My concern is that thus far, unless you say to Rice and Anderson, change the way you've been playing and sit and hold, that structure hasn't served us well against teams that are far worse than Mexico, in terms of our ability to shield the defence.
Yeah, but to be honest, we've been killed on the transition. There'll be less of a transition against Mexico. They're just going to be coming at us in waves.
The transition will be us getting the ball and trying
will
to
be
get
the transition. And therefore, I would be much happier. I mean, things I learned from the game against Dr. Congo are Harry Kane was. I mean, fair enough. I'm not a massive fan, but to be honest, we'd been out with it. We would have been out without him. So I mean, he was unbelievable.
He's unbelievable.
But
that second goal was
amazing
thing of beauty.
But he is a single point of failure. England have got a single point of failure. If Kane doesn't work, we'll lose. And we shouldn't be in that situation, but we have. We've got a single point of failure. That snaps, we're gone. So what we need to do, in my opinion, is Rashford couldn't score literally in a brothel, could he?
Or 1970s chant, if you're not from that chant from the terraces from the 1970s, in case you're not from the UK.
Yeah.
Good reference, Ken. On you go.
Thank you. So he's got to go. I was impressed with either wing, quite honestly. So what we've got to do, we've got to have Saka playing from minute one. We've got to have your man on the left hand side.
Well, you tell me. You've got a choice of either Gordon. Well, you got Rashford or Gordon.
I was happy with Gordon. I'm happy with Gordon and Rashford.
Right. Okay. Go on, and I'll come back to that point.
Gordon Rashford. We've got to play Kane.
Gordon Rashford. Is that his name? Are you putting both players together to create one player called
Gordon and Saka? Gordon and Saka. Got to have Kane in the middle. That's not going to change. We're going to have that gives us who's in the middle. That's got to be Bellingham. You've got to have two holding midfielders because you're going to need them, and in my opinion, you've got to have Declan Rice at right back. That's the best you're going to get. And maybe
I think you struck upon gold, mate. I think you struck on gold because you've worked out where England can get a competitive advantage, and that is putting two players in one big pair of shorts and calling them one player in Gordon Rashford. What a winger he is. He's got 4 legs and 4 arms and a giant pair of shorts, like he's in a 3-legged race.
Before we move on, Nick, can we talk about Pickford?
We can. But before you do that, sorry, I missed that. I was laughing so much at your idea of putting 2 players into one.
No.
Who is your other midfielder? So if you've got Rice at right back, who have you got in midfield with Bellingham? Anderson and what? And who?
Henderson. I think we've got to play Henderson.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I think we've got to play Henderson and Anderson.
I won't argue with that. My point about the wingers is this. We've got 4 wingers. Saka, Madueke on one side.
Yeah,
we've got
Madueke.
Gordon and Rashford, not Gordon Rashford. And we've got Gordon and the other. And all 4 of them have done exactly the same thing. They've all looked better when they've come off the bench, and they've all looked worse when they've started games.
Yeah.
So that presents us with a problem. Because you can't bring them all off the bench after 70 minutes.
No, you can't. You can't. But I just don't fancy Rashford at all. Rashford is just. I mean, he looks decent, and then his ability to finish is just horrible.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I would say exactly the same about Gordon, but he did lay on a couple of goals yesterday.
Yeah, Gordon's a better assist man for me.
Maybe so. Yeah, let's talk about then finally Jordan Pickford. Okay, so I'm going to ask you this question, Ken. Is it time to replace Jordan Pickford? Because he had another mistake in him yesterday. He looks all over the place. It was a really poor goal to concede at near post. An international goalkeeper, if his standing, should not be beaten in the near post like that.
Really
is it time to give either James Trafford or Dean Henderson a go?
No, it's not. I think I echo everything you've said. I've been really disappointed with Pickford. Really disappointed. But ultimately, I just think he is deep down the best keeper we've got. And I am prepared to. I mean, he's decent at penalties. And I've got a feeling this one is going to go to penalties, by the way. But I would keep him. I would keep him simply because I think he's been ordinary, but he's not been so bad he has to be replaced.
I'm going to balance this argument, saying there is mitigation, and there's 2 bits of mitigation here. Whether it's right or wrong,
it's wrong.
Or you agree with it.
I don't.
No, it doesn't really matter. One is, I think as a goalkeeper, it's quite hard to play behind a defence which changes every single game.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
And you've got no idea who's playing in front of you. You've got no idea who's playing at right back and their strengths and weaknesses. You've got no idea who's playing centre half, strengths and weaknesses. Left back's changed a couple of times, and that for a goalkeeper is quite difficult because goalkeepers need to trust their defenders, and vice versa, by the way. But goalkeepers need to trust their defenders, and they need to know who they are. Settled defenders will equal a better goalkeeper, and I feel for him a little bit because every game there's changes and shuffling around, and he must think, blimey, what am I meant to do with this, particularly in terms of distribution, etc., etc. The other thing is. And this is, I know I am scraping a barrel a little bit, but I think it's probably true, is that Pickford is a much, much better goalkeeper when he's being kept very busy. When he seems to be the sort of player who, when he gets bored, just switches off or
Yeah,
comes out and does stupid things
his
like he did
mind
against
drifts
Ghana.
a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he just kind of,
I can
and,
see that,
and I
actually.
think, and he will be kept busy against Mexico. He's a sort of keeper who will have an absolute blinder
Yeah, he could
against
be.
a team like Mexico. So I'm in agreement with you. I wouldn't change him either.
I wouldn't change him. How do you feel about Stones coming into the middle of defence?
I don't think it's the right thing to do at this moment in time.
What
If you
would you
wanted to
do with
do
the
it,
defence then? What would your defence look like?
if you wanted to, I would have O'Reilly at left back.
Yeah,
I would have Konza and Gahey in the middle,
yeah.
and
Don't change that.
I would have Rice at right back.
So would I.
I think he is our best right back in the current circumstance, and I don't want to see another change at centre half, and I don't want to see a John Stones come in against a Mexico attack when he's so obviously rusty.
Yeah, he was horrible the first game, wasn't
Yeah, he had a terrible first game. He's barely played all season, as we've talked about a lot, and this is not the game to bring him in from the start. I mean, he came on as a sub last night late. Fine, that's probably where it needs to be for him at the moment. And to start a game like this, where we know the first 15 minutes is going to be like the Alamo,
he?
and that we could be out of the game by then if we're not tight in defence.
Do you think Tuchel would have lost his job if we'd lost that game?
100%.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, by the way. I don't agree with, because I think if he had sacked him, I think he would have been sacked. I think it's an almost indefensible position. The same as I think the German manager Nagelsmann is going to be sacked.
Yeah.
And apparently Jurgen Klopp's sort of
Yeah.
waiting in the wings. And frankly, if Jurgen Klopp's waiting in the wings, I don't know why they haven't done it already, because he's a 20 times the manager.
I've quite fancied Klopp at England, quite honest.
I know, yeah, me too, yeah, 100%. But if you my defence of Tuchel, if there is one, and it's quite hard at the moment to defend him, but if there is one, to say that look, if we got rid of him now, we're kind of back to square one, and this, that, and the other. Whereas we give him 2 more years to the Euros, it's 2 more years to really get into this team and get them playing the way they want. If we have a disastrous Euros after that, fine, no problem, get rid.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed.
I think he needs a bit more time.
I mean, I like Tuchel, to be quite
I do.
honest.
I think he's a great coach as well.
Yeah, but the thing is, to find yourself after all this time at the World Cup and that defence looking like it does, you think, well,
Yeah,
is this honestly the best we could have done? Really?
Well, as I say, it's quite difficult to defend him given
some of the choices he made. Yeah,
and with some of the what's happened because of some of the choices, a direct consequence of some of the choices he's made, but also the way we are playing generally. All the stuff that he said before the World Cup, we're high press, do this, do that, fast attacking, flowing team. It's none of those things. You want to see a fast attacking, flowing team? Go and look at Mexico. Go and look at France.
Morocco.
Yeah. Go and look at America. Go and look at Morocco. Yeah. Yeah.
So now, the only saving grace in this is Mexico will not have faced a team as good as England. England won't have faced a team as good as Mexico. I've just got a feeling England are better against better teams.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think we're going to have to be. But as I said, and I've said all along, and I said right at the start, and I've said since last year, really, it's not the teams that will do for England. It's the atmosphere, as
Literally.
in not literally
in both senses of the word.
Yeah, exactly, both senses of the word. It's the altitude. That's the word I was looking for, and the atmosphere. 80-odd thousand ravenous Mexicans. That is more of a disability because you are playing against much more than the opposition. And the opposition, there's some great stats out the other day, or yesterday, actually, they were today, saying that Mexico at high altitude are playing with the same intensity as the most intense team playing at sea level.
Yeah.
And England are going to have to go there. They're flying in on Friday night. They've got
that's a big mistake. That's another mistake.
Well, okay, fine. There's a great piece in the Times today, in the Times of London today that I read, explaining why they're doing that. And actually, when you look at the reasons behind it, it does actually make sense. If you look at the science behind it, it makes sense. And if I could briefly explain it, I'll be brief. The optimum time is 2 to 3 weeks. So you're not going to do that. Obviously, it's a competition. You've only had a couple of days' notice. If you're not going to do that, then the optimum time becomes straight away. So you literally fly in, play the game, and get out again, because then the altitude won't have time to affect your body.
Okay.
Yeah. By the time it does, you're on the plane home, or hopefully back to Kansas or back to England. Can't do that because FIFA decrees that you've got to stay in your venue the night before, even if you're around. therefore, you've got to fly in as kind of late to that sort of that time.
To the game.
Bear with. However, also there are stats. I say this is a really interesting piece in the Times. There's also stats to say that when you go into a high altitude environment, your first night's sleep is terrible, and your second night's sleep is generally better. So they're going to get 2 nights there on the basis that the second night will be better and they'll be rested for the game. They don't want to go in, have a terrible night's sleep and try and play football. Do you see what I mean? So the actual logic behind it is good because it's a no-win situation for England. It's a no-win situation.
I understand.
So you've got to make the best of a bad situation.
So what's your prediction?
My prediction is Mexico will win. And I think it'll be 2-0, something like that.
2-0 after 90 minutes?
Yeah.
I think England are going to win. Okay. I think England are going to win. It's going to be extra time. 0-0. We're going to Harry Kane, 118 minutes. He's going to head one in from the halfway line. That's my prediction.
You're doing so well, mate. You're doing so well until that last bit.
Right, I better read a
read out, and then we're going to look at the World Cup's greatest comebacks.
And I want to talk about. We need to talk about refs, Nick.
Yeah, we need to talk about refs.
So the Road to World Cup 26 podcast has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements, because your body's unique. Because without knowing exactly what your body needs, if you just take off-the-shelf supplements, you might not be getting enough of the nutrients you do need. Maybe too many of the ones you don't. So Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements crafted to deliver precisely what your individual body needs. So click on the link in the show notes. You'll get 50%, imagine that, off your first order.
It's the Road to World Cup 26 podcast, your deep dive into everything FIFA World Cup every single week. Part of the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Listening to Road to World Cup 26 podcast. We're always delighted to hear from you. Do get in touch. Road to World Cup 26 at gmail.com. Road to World Cup 26 at gmail.com. We did ask on our podcast the other day for our dear listeners to give us a shout out if you've got an idea of what we should do as a podcast.
That's dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's
I know,
a dangerous question.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know, yeah. So Laura has written in, Laura Zuniga from Illinois.
Bless her. Good old Chicago.
Saying, and I hope she doesn't mind me reading this bit out, says, you guys are great. I love the podcast. And she wanted to say, but Nick, what I think you should do next time, after this podcast is finished, is do something good, but please ditch Ken because he's terrible.
Laura didn't say that.
No, she didn't. I've made that last bit up. She did say, you guys are great, love podcast. She said, your next podcast should be about the Premier League. And funnily enough, we've been talking about that off air, but trying to work out, we love the Premier League, but there are loads of Premier League podcasts out there. So if we did one,
we need an angle. We need an
angle. So Laura, we'd like to explore this angle, and listeners, we would like to explore a potential Premier League podcast, but one that's got something a bit different to all the other ones that are out there. So any ideas, drop us a line, road to World Cup 26 at gmail.com. Laura also thinks Portugal is going to win the World Cup.
Well, I mean, Laura's.
They're not.
You can't be right on everything, can you, Laura? I mean, you were right, obviously, about you know the glorification of this podcast, and you're absolutely spot on with that. But if Portugal win the World Cup, I'll personally come over to Illinois and buy you dinner.
Oh, come on, Portugal! Come on, Cristiano. Yeah, okay. Well, Laura, you don't want Portugal to win the World Cup. Let me tell you that. Right, okay. The last game that we haven't talked about from the last 48 hours is one of the great comebacks of this World Cup of all time. I don't know. Maybe, apart from England winning the World Cup in 1966, is this one of the great turnarounds? Senegal were 2-0 up against Belgium.
And cruising.
Cruising in the 86th minute. They were in no trouble whatsoever. They were literally, by then, sitting on the deck chairs, smoking cigars, thinking about the next game. And,
Spain
Belgium,
scored.
Out of absolutely nowhere, Lukaku gets a goal in 86. Obviously, panic sets in. On 89, the ball goes in. Keeper Maury Diao just flaps and misses it.
Yeah.
And Tielemans, well, he either headed it in or just hit his head and went in. I don't know. Either
No,
way.
I thought he was very brave, Tielemans, actually.
Yeah, fair dues. I'm doing him a disservice. Then Tielemans scored. Terrible mistake by the goalkeeper. I mean, really bad
Yeah.
mistake by the goalkeeper. He came for it, he panicked, he missed it, and Tielemans headed it into an empty net. It went to extra time, and it got to the 120 minutes, and everybody thought, right, okay, fine, it's penalties. And then controversy of the highest, and I mean highest order, as a cross comes in, Belgian player misses it, goes to ground, shot comes in, goes over the bar, and suddenly the VAR signals to the referee, we think there's a penalty. Ken, was it a penalty?
I'm trying to remember, to be honest with you, because I've seen so many bad decisions in the course of the last.
Well, we're going to talk about. We are. Yeah, we were.
If it's the instance I remember, no, it wasn't a penalty. I'm trying to remember it now.
Well, okay. So
describe it for me again.
Well, I'm just trying to think of the players involved off the top of my head. So you've got the ball down the left, cross comes in from the left, and you've got two players running towards it near post.
Oh, it was this sliding challenge, wasn't it? Where he just caught
wasn't even that.
He
they
caught
both
his
kind of went for the
toe,
ball.
didn't he? He caught the side of his foot just before he kicked the ball.
Well, did he? Did he not? Was he getting the ball?
It was really, really.
And anyway, they both missed it. And I don't think the Belgian player's getting the ball anyway, even if there's no contact. And it comes across and the shot goes over. And bearing in mind, this is the 119th minute or 18th minute of the game. It's the last kick of the game to all intents and purpose. Bear in mind the VAR took 7 minutes to look at it. Now, if they're taking 7 minutes to look at it, and we are told relentlessly in this World Cup that VAR is not getting involved unless it's unless it's blindingly obvious the referee's made a mistake.
Because the ref didn't give it, did he?
No, the ref didn't give it. Yeah. The ref gets sent to the monitor.
Yeah.
To look at it.
As soon as that happens.
Well, what he should have done is come back and said, no, VAR, you're wrong. I stand by my decision, but that never happens. 7 minutes. I can't. And then he gives a penalty. And Tielemans, brilliant penalty.
Oh, great.
Brilliant penalty. Great penalty. Killed it. Keeper's top left. Our top right as you look at it. No argument there. And I'll tell you what, the pressure on that's unbelievable. But what I'll refer that was so brilliant. Well done, Belgium, by the way. Let's just finish this. Well done, Belgium.
Yeah.
Great comeback out of nowhere. You were outplayed for most of that game. Senegal, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How can you lose a game from that position? How can you? And you go home having lost, having won, then lost the AFCON final, having the title stripped from you, and then managing to lose a game and a place in the last 16 of the World Cup. Go home and have a cold shower.
They switched off. They did switch off. They were cruising, and literally they were too complacent. But just going back to that penalty, remember when me and Nick, by the way, for all you listeners who won't know this, had a thing about penalties in the sense of penalties are a problem in football. They're a real problem in football because they twist the game too much. And there's no way that guy was going to score. There's no way he was going to score. And because the penalty's given, suddenly Belgium are given an 81% chance of scoring, where actually the offence, if it was one, actually maybe denied a 1% chance of scoring. It's absolute nonsense.
It was Tielemans. Sorry, I've just looked this up. It was Tielemans.
Yeah.
Who eventually scored, who'd already scored with a header, who scored the penalty. He was trying to get to it. It was Lamine Kamara's challenge on it.
Yeah, but it was literally just 2 feet stretching for the ball.
Yeah.
And one happened to touch the other person's foot before the ball. I mean, there was no denial of a goal or denial of an opportunity, or because Tielemans wasn't getting control of the ball.
He wasn't getting the ball. He wasn't getting the ball.
It was a terrible decision.
Poor decision. But it segues quite neatly into this last bit where I cannot make head nor tail of what is going on with referees in this World Cup. I can't make it out because some referees you're seeing them referee 1970s style where they're letting players kick lumps out of each other with no decision and play on. And then you get some referees who are sending players off for perfectly innocent challenges and blowing up for fouls where nothing has happened.
Yeah.
So this is what happened in the USA game. This is what happened in the USA game.
What with the sending
The
off?
USA were cruising. They were 1-0 up, no problem whatsoever. Florian Balogun, who's been their absolute star man this World Cup, scored again. Is it Balogun or Balogun?
Balogun.
Sorry, yeah. Gets his goal again, puts them 1-0 up. And then clashes with one of the Bosnia players. They're both going for the ball. His foot sort of touches the back of the player's calf. Nobody seems to think it's anything.
Apart from an unfortunate accident.
Yeah, another accident, yeah. Suddenly the red card comes out.
Yeah, crazy.
Suddenly the red card comes out, and Balogun's sent off. He's going to miss the next game, and the other thing about this is, for some reason that I don't really understand, or that may just be down to timing, is that you're not allowed an appeal. FIFA doesn't allow any kind of appeals, so referees can do what they want, and they can send players off, even unfairly, and there's no right of appeal, which is even worse. I mean, it was such an innocuous incident. The ball's played up to him and the defender. They both go for the ball. Yes, there's contact, but sorry, let me remind you that A, football's a contact sport, and B, other referees, and indeed referees in this case, allow players to kick 7 bells of stuff out of each other. And yes, his calf it did go on his ankle. I get that. But it's just really difficult to see why that's a red card.
It's not a red card. For me, red cards are there to stop dangerous play and terrible tackles, which are intentional.
Yeah.
Intentional. That's the key thing for me. This was not intentional. It's like sending someone off for a clash of heads. It's no different.
Well, the other thing is, you're right. And the other thing about this is, the VAR. Again, the referee didn't deem anything wrong. VAR's got involved, and because the VAR are looking at these things in slow motion, it looks bloody awful if you slow it down.
It does, but it still doesn't look intentional. Still doesn't look intentional.
Kind of goes,
they're both looking in different directions. He just happens to land on him.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
And it's the way he's landed as much as anything else.
Absolutely, and it looks awful. The lad could have been injured, badly injured, but there's no intent whatsoever.
No.
So you can't be sending people off like that.
And I don't even know that you could argue that he's endangering the safety of the opponent, because he's not doing. It's kind of the way the opponent lands as much as it is.
Well, he didn't know his foot was going to be under his foot or his leg was going to be under his foot when he landed. So no, I'm very much on your side on this one.
Bloody hell, say that again.
I'm on your side on this. I think what we've seen in this World Cup is a probably the widest variation of takes by referees in the competition, and it started from game one when we had 3 people sent off, and then we had nothing. Then they went super lax, and now they seem to be going the other way again, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and I just want to remind you of Lionel Messi in the first game against Algeria, where in a similar sort of situation where he's running after the player and the ball and all that, and in the process of running, and again, not intentional, not intending to injure or harm your opponent, his foot hits and lands, his studs land on the calf of his opponent. Yeah, it's going to hurt. It's a foul, no doubt about it. No red card. No red card, no yellow card. Nothing. Foul.
Yeah.
Which is the right decision.
Well, the right decision.
Here, fine. If you think, give a foul against Balogun if you think that he's fouled the player. But I just think the red card is just.
No, it's crazy. And that could potentially really affect the USA, because Belgium have got out of jail free. That's who they're playing next. They're going to be super confident. They're a good team, Belgium. They've got some great players.
Yeah, I'm yet to really have my fires lit by Belgium, but I can't. So I just to finish this point, it just looked worse when you slowed it down in
It
a
always
kind of
does.
shot by shot.
Always
But the
does.
thing is, it always does, and it doesn't. It was a physical challenge, but they're both being physical. It's a physical game. This is the World Cup, and I just don't get it. I don't get what referees are thinking about. And and players don't like it, all right, and I know this because I've refereed a long time. I've been around the game a long time. Players don't like it when they don't know what to expect from a referee. They don't like inconsistency. You can almost be really bad as long as your consistency bad, or you can be really good as long as they kind of know what they're dealing with. Here they don't, because they don't know if they touch another player whether it's going to be nothing or a sending off offence, or they don't know whether if they smash through another player it's going to be nothing or a red card. They just don't know, and I think it must be difficult in the World Cup for players to kind of just sense, shall I go in strong for this tackle? I should be able to, but I just don't quite know what's going to happen if I do.
Yeah, I think there'll be some serious thinking by the Referees Association at the end of this World Cup. I mean, there's been some very questionable stuff, together with some good stuff. I mean, we should say it because it's relevant to the games we talked about here. I am very pleased that Kane never got that penalty because I thought it was a dive. I thought he knew exactly what he was doing. He was playing exactly for the penalty, and everybody in all the people I know in sport saying no, it should have been a penalty. No, it would have been a penalty in the Premier League because refs get bluffed by that. I'm really pleased that when Kane put his legs together and made sure he fell over the keeper, it wasn't given. It was a dive, and I'm really pleased it wasn't given.
Yeah, I can't make my mind up about that because the camera angles are very deceptive. So one camera angle makes it look quite clearly that the goalkeeper's Kane's pushed the ball past the goalkeeper, and his arm makes contact with Kane's legs, and therefore he's going to go down. It's a penalty, no doubt whatsoever. Absolutely blatant penalty. Another angle looks like Kane, as you say, takes a dive.
Left his legs there. Just didn't move his legs. Just left them there for the goalie.
Yeah, but he's not duty bound to get out of the way of the goalkeeper.
No, but equally, that shouldn't mean you get a penalty because you could have got out of the way.
Well, I'm not quite sure that's right, but I think the point did he dive? Did he expect contact and take a dive before
contact? He did. Yes, he did.
I don't know because I think the camera angles are inconclusive. One looks like he did.
In my opinion, he was playing for the penalty, and he was disgusted that the ref didn't fall for it, and I was delighted that the ref didn't fall for it.
Yeah, I don't know. He was a poor referee though. Again, really inconsistent. You're looking at it going, why has he let that go, and then why is he blown up for that? I mean, literally, what's happening?
I know. It I think one of the things you do get in World Cups, of course, because you get referees from lots of different places around the world. You do. I mean, they're all supposed to be of a very good standard, but they're all going to be slightly different. Just like we see inconsistencies with the players' ability, we do see inconsistency in the referee's ability as well. And I suppose we should expect a bit of that.
Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose so. That is a fair point.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What have we got games-wise coming up then, Ken?
Well, we've got Spain playing Austria right now. And it's 1-0 to Spain last time I looked.
Fair enough. You'd expect Spain to win that game anyway, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I mean, you would expect.
You would, but
yeah, they're still 1-0 up.
Austria held them out nearly till half time, but there's only going to be one winner there, and then obviously they go on to play the winner of Portugal against Croatia, which I think is midnight tonight.
A bit later on, midnight our time. A bit later on.
I fancy Croatia in that one, by the way.
Well, don't know. Kind of fancy Croatia, but I also think Portugal have got more to come from them, so I can see that one going to penalties. Switzerland, Algeria. Fancy Switzerland for that.
Yeah.
Australia, Egypt. I'm going Egypt.
Yeah.
And then Argentina, Cape Verde.
Argentina. So looks like it's going to be Paraguay, France, Canada, Morocco, probably Spain against, say, Portugal, USA, Belgium, Brazil against Norway, Mexico against England, of course, Argentina against Egypt, we think, and probably Switzerland against Colombia.
Either Ghana or Colombia.
Yeah, we don't like Ghana, though, do we?
No, we don't like Ghana, and we want them to go home. So Colombia, we need you to do a number on them. and I think they will. They're a better side by far. And then on Saturday, the last 16 games kick off with Canada, Morocco, Paraguay, France. So lots of great football to come.
It's been a good World Cup, mate.
It's been great. I've loved it.
It's been a great World Cup.
Yeah.
Doing the podcast has made it better, hasn't
it? well, in the words, I'll leave you with the words of Laura. I hope I pronounced your name right, Laura. Is it Zuniga? Or I think it is probably right. You guys are great. I love the podcast.
Laura's great though. Honestly, she's one of the best. She's one of the best over there in the US.
Well, in Illinois.
Yeah, she's Queen of Illinois.
We'll be back on Saturday,
Sunday,
Friday. What's the day today?
It's Thursday, Sunday. I'm going on a pub crawl on Saturday night.
Oh yeah, you.
On my own, obviously. If I'm on my own, I'm just an alcoholic, aren't I? That's
if you're going on your own, it means you're going with your mates.
No, I am going on a bit of a crawl.
Okay, fair enough. All right. In that case, we can't do Saturday. We'll see you Sunday, and by then we'll know who's two teams that are through to the quarterfinal.
Oh, can't wait.
I'm going Morocco, France, but we'll see then. We'll see you on Sunday. Till then, look after yourselves, look after each other, keep enjoying the football. Bye.
See you, Laura.
It's the Road to World Cup 26 podcast, your deep dive into everything FIFA World Cup every single week. Part of the Global Sports Podcast Network.